Yo. Got my girls with me today. Two black females, two black breast cancer survivors. Yes. All right. Yo. Welcome to another episode of We Think Too. And I am Ben DeShields. You can reach me on Twitter at Big Ben DeShields, Instagram Big Ben DeShields. We're not talking about stocks today. We're just talking about life. So I got some friends with me, Big Mike and Trena Staten, and another friend, RaJohnna, who's hailing from... RaJohnna, where are you?
Youngstown, Ohio.
So welcome, everybody, to the show. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just living life.
Enjoying life. It's been hot over here on the East Coast. You know, you had a little heat wave.
Too hot. Hot. My garden is feeling the effects of the sun.
You have a garden?
I have a garden in the backyard.
I know that's stuff black people do, man. Black people don't garden.
I'm trying to be like the Move movement.
Whoa! Shit.
Is that too much? Too early?
Okay, what you got in your garden?
We put some green beans, cantaloupe, watermelon, some onions.
Now that's real black of you with the watermelon.
The watermelon it is very black. The secret. I don't even know why I said it, but cantaloupe, onion, green beans, collard greens. That's very black too.
Oh yeah.
And that's about it. And tomatoes. Got some tomatoes.
I think that's awesome. You know, as a culture, man, we kind of drifted away from agriculture.
Very much so.
Obviously because of slavery.
Yeah.
And I think most of our occupations we don't even try.
No.
You know, a lot of our black employed are in healthcare and services. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely a distance away from agriculture. So you got a garden out there, RaJohnna?
I do not.
Okay.
No.
Is there a reason?
No, I just don't. I don't do out in the yard that often. Like I maintain the yard, but that's as far as it go.
Okay. Well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Tell them what you've been doing on the inside of your house.
Oh, you got
remodeling. Yeah.
Okay.
My daughter and I, we done the kitchen.
Yourself?
We gutted the kitchen. Yeah, we done it ourselves.
Oh man.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
nice.
good. I mean, was it too expensive, or I'm sure y'all saved some money with the labor costs, but you know.
Yeah, it was a little expensive hiring somebody to do it, so we done it ourselves. Good old YouTube.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all want to come down and do some work for me?
No, it's just home projects we do.
Okay.
Just for ourselves.
All right. I'm looking at a picture of you, and you don't look that handy, but you can't.
Oh wow.
You can't see what I'm seeing, but I guess this is an old book, right? High school or something like that. This is a mug shot of. I want to know if this dude way down here went to jail ever since then. This dude got a mean mug right here. A mean mug. Who is
from Youngstown, so you never know.
Yeah, from Youngstown. I ain't gonna say his name, but he is thugging on this joker. Yeah. So what else is going on, Trena? How are you feeling these days? I know that life has taken some I guess detours, if you will. And for everybody, I just want you to know that Trena and I, we served in the Army together.
Yes,
we went to Warrant Officer Candidate course together down there in good old Fort Rucker. Yeah. And this was my dog, man. She did it for me She jumped out, called Cadence, and she actually can sing. Like she can hold a note.
I
And
can.
we was probably on like mile 3 or 4, and she took us on in for another couple more miles, man. Especially with that inspiration, you know.
Remember
So.
the look on the I can't remember the platoon sergeant's face. Remember the look on his face? I don't know if you remember, but when I started calling Cadence, he turned around and the formation was
It's
like,
who was
"What?"
that?
Yeah. He said, "What?" He
Yeah,
got pumped up.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
Not a lot going. Well, it is a lot going on. You know, I retired from the Army last year, 1 July, and on 14 July, 14 days later, I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, breast cancer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's been a lot going on. So from then to now, I've done all of my treatment. And I did my chemo and radiation. So I'm still waiting to see if I'm in remission right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What? So, man, what was that like at diagnosis, or what prompted you to even go and check? Was it just a random like feel, or you know?
So, you know, RaJohnna could attest to this. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019, and our other mutual best friend was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2018. So one night I was in the bed with Mike, and you know, I wasn't masturbating. Like I was just playing around with my chest. I don't know, we were having fun. So not this kind. This is not that show. Anyway, PG version. So I felt a lump on my right breast, and I was like, Mike, you know, what is this? You feel it? And he felt it, and it didn't feel right. It felt like a what did it feel like, babe? Maybe like a golf ball.
Yeah, just a hard lump, hard ball.
Yeah.
So that was Friday night, and on Monday I had made an appointment to go in and get it checked out. I went to the Carlisle Barracks in Pennsylvania. I went to the health clinic, and I was referred to a breast surgeon. So during that referral, you know, looking at the doctor's face, I could tell, you know, something was going on. So the next day I went to that referred breast surgeon and took some mammograms, and, you know, basically she looked at me and said, look, I've been doing this for years, and, you know, I don't know how to tell you this, but it looks like it's breast cancer. Wow. So, you know, I was kind of diagnosed before getting a confirmed diagnosis.
Okay.
So, you know, I was telling her like, hey, oh, okay. Well, you know, as Black women, we have to be strong. So, you know, I couldn't even really get out my true emotions. I was just like, hey, you know, we'll tackle it. I saw RaJohnna tackle it, you know, like that. So I said, okay, what we got to do? So I had to get a biopsy. So I believe it was July 18th of 2020. It was confirmed that I had breast cancer. So initially it was stage 2 breast cancer. Yeah.
Wow.
So it came about fast, but, you know, I reached out to RaJohnna and our other best friend, RaShonda, who had it, and they were very comforting. You know, RaJohnna is like my business girlfriend, where, you know, she was like, okay, what you got? Tell me what you got. We'll research it. We'll find the best doctor. Like, very supportive. So I had a lot of support.
And RaJohnna, when you got that call, what was going through your head?
Devastation.
Wow.
Devastation.
Pig.
A lot of mixed emotions.
RaJohnna, you were devastated. Like, that's just shocking to me because I never saw, devastation come from you. I just saw empowerment and let's get this done.
Yeah, but it was devastating because it's like I know what I went through with it. It was no joke. It was no joke.
And when was your experience exactly?
I was diagnosed October 29th of 2019 with stage 1 breast cancer.
Okay.
But after genetic testing came about, I found out that I carried the BRCA2 gene mutation for triple negative breast cancer.
What? My mind is blown, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so ignorant to this.
No, it's okay.
And I think I would even go as far as to say a lot of guys probably are. But what exactly, those terms? What do those mean?
Triple negative is still breast cancer, but the treatment for it is a little bit more, has to be more aggressive because it's not HER2 positive and it's not estrogen fed. It's just a gene mutation in the gene pool in the body.
Okay. So you never served. Were you in the military?
No.
All right. So I wonder, what are the real linkages? It seems like it's so widely spread that you can't say as women that are, super athletic or not, or women that, work in industrial plants. It just seems to be, all over the board. Am I right in thinking that?
Sorta. Some of it is just environmental, but some of it is just a genetic mutation that is carried down through the family gene pool.
Okay. So since the success, your success story, like the victory, what have you done now? What do you do now to help the rest of the young women that may or may not have this experience or this knowledge?
I try to tell them, you gotta be your own self-advocate. You gotta keep up on your health, because if you listen to your doctor a lot of times, it'll get ignored. And they try to make it seem like a person doesn't get breast cancer till after you're 40. You can get breast cancer in your 20s, teens, 30s, at any age.
Yeah, you ladies were pretty young. You ladies were pretty young when you had diagnosis. So
we
yes.
are, and I think what RaJohnna was saying is that normally it's in older women, and what I learned going through my journey is that it can be detected early on, but you can't get a mammogram until a certain age, until you're over 40.
Or unless you got a family history of it, and then they'll do it in the 20s. Yes.
Is that that's probably just a budgetary thing?
It is. It's money. It's all about money, because I had my first mammogram September 2019. Nothing was there. Nothing showed up. And then July of the next year, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer.
Damn.
So,
I'd have been pissed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy to me because I initially thought it was wrong, and I thought the diagnosis was wrong, but I had a mass, so it wasn't wrong, but it made me think that I had a real aggressive, it wasn't an aggressive cancer. Mine was the most common breast cancer, but it was at a later stage, a 3. And how do you come from a mammogram in September showing nothing to a 3 in less than 12 months? It's crazy.
Wow. What's the recommended frequency for these checks? I guess you could check yourself every day, but like you said, you went from 0 to 3 in 12 months.
I really don't know what what could have been done, in that situation. I really don't know. All I can say, like RaJohnna said, is women need to do their breast exams, like they really do, because even though I wasn't doing a real breast exam, I did touch my, sometimes I touch my breast, and I I shake them in Mike's face, I do like this.
I'm sure he'll mind.
But I say that to say, why I'm playing like that. That's how I found it.
Yeah.
So I really didn't. I think being a military soldier and officer, sometimes we think that we're invincible, superhuman, can't get sick. And it happened to me, and it happened fast. So
how did the pandemic affect either one of you, during, this diagnosis, and then you get kind of trapped in the house? Not trapped in the closet, but just trapped in the house.
RaJohnna, you want to go first?
Okay, well, for myself, it actually, sadly, the pandemic was a blessing for me because I finished up my chemo during the pandemic. And I'm a homebody anyway, so it didn't bother me not going out around people. So it was okay with that.
Yeah. For me, COVID-19 I think it was terrible for all of us in some shape, form, or fashion. But for me, COVID happened before I was diagnosed and I was retiring. And it was a blessing for me because I could take care of my transitioning, without any issue. Because everything was pretty much digital. So it really didn't have an effect on me. And I didn't have to take leave because we were, teleworking. So, but my appointments and when I got treated, we were going through the second wave. So it was kind of crushing for me because I could only have Mike there in my chemo sessions. I think you were there like 2 times. Maybe like 2 times.
Yeah, maybe like 3 or 4, man.
No, I only have 4 treatments, but but what I'm trying to say is the hospital didn't allow people to come in with you. You could only just the patient. So some of my appointments outside of the treatments were a little lonely, but outside of that, not so much. Yeah.
So that's a good segue as far as like support. Like the pandemic, the weird thing, it was sending folks to the hospital, and then you get there and the normal support that you would have, you just can't have,
right?
Because of fear of spread, and like we over focused on COVID, but other, all of those other illnesses and diseases and just, just medical concerns they didn't go away just because COVID popped up. You know what I'm saying? So like, RaJohnna, what was your support system looking like during that time?
It was okay. Like my daughter, she would sit through my treatments with me, but it got to the point I had to do it by myself because no one was allowed in the infusion room. Like my family would still come over and visit, the ones I would let in my house. The rest of them I talked to through the window. And it was just more like over the phone, just keeping in contact over the phone with everyone.
I know that didn't help though, huh?
No, it didn't, but it's just the safest way versus being exposed to other germs that I didn't need.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing about COVID because you were kind of like isolated to your house, and with our immune systems being so compromised, we didn't have the temptation of going out.
Okay.
Because I'm like, RaJohnna likes to go out too. And I don't know, for me, I felt very isolated, but I was sick at the same time. So I couldn't do anything, but COVID ensured that, I wasn't doing the most.
Yeah.
And taking care of myself.
So Mike, like, with you, with everything going on, your new wife has been diagnosed.
Oh yeah, I got married 2 months before my diagnosis. How about that?
We love it. Absolutely, we love it. So you guys are still in the honeymoon phase. You know what I'm saying, and get diagnosed. How has this affected you?
It was bad for me. I took it kind of hard because you only hear about bad things about cancer, and you don't really pay attention to cancer until somebody close to you have it, and it just opened up a world for me, and and all I thought is how can I be there for her, because she's gonna go through it more than I am. So.
Yeah. Well, I think I couldn't imagine, man. Like, honestly, this is where your vows and just the relationship that you guys develop prior to comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's always good when you out dating and courting, you know what I'm saying, and all the extra activities. But you never think about what would happen if something like this transpired. Like, are you guys really solid enough to deal with something like that?
Well, till death do us part came really early. The potential of that really came early. I mean, we couldn't even imagine it. And, something RaJohnna and I didn't talk about is the waiting process of getting your diagnosis, or, your treatment plan and stuff like that. You don't know. And like Mike said, until it knocks on your front door, you don't know. Rashonda and RaJohnna were like the closest ones to me to be diagnosed with breast cancer that I knew, and it tore me up, and then I got it. It really tested our relationship early on. When we were supposed to be newlyweds, we were talking about treatments to preserve my life. So that shit was rough.
Yeah.
And we're not even out of the woods yet. But my baby over here, Mike, he's been super supportive, and I couldn't ask for a better partner.
That's awesome.
I couldn't ask for better best friends. RaJohnna, like she said, we were confined to the telephone or FaceTime, and it helped, but sometimes it wasn't enough. But her experience, it really helped me, because we didn't talk about what we did as far as our surgeries. I don't know if you wanted to talk about, what kind of surgeries we had, because we had different surgeries.
Yeah, and we can go as long as y'all want to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, how about that? So I'll let RaJohnna go first with, as far as being in whatever facility, describe that.
I had two surgeons. I had my general surgeon, my plastic surgeon. I had to get a bilateral mastectomy, so I had to get both of my breasts removed with the reconstruction surgery. So I had two surgeries to get back to somewhat normal. I had it in December, and then I had my permanent implants put in September of 2020. And then in the midst of all that, I'd done chemo.
Yeah. Wow. Excuse me. During the chemo, like, did that bring any changes, weight loss, or normally you see the commercials and people shave their heads and stuff just to not see it falling out. Did you go through that?
I actually gained weight during chemo. My brother, he shaved my head for me because my hair, it was falling out in patches. I tried to wear a wig. That's just not me. So I just shaved it and rocked the bald head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always been in. I'm looking at Mike. Mike got a bald head right now. So it's always been. It's always been in. Oh, wow.
Sexy, I might say.
Yeah. I can't do a bald head, though. I just don't have the shape. I feel like you need that perfect, like, head or sphere or whatever, and I don't have it. Yeah.
I think you could do it.
Nah. Trust me, I tried it. Okay. Yeah. I got a picture of you, RaJohnna.
Oh, God.
No, you look good.
Thank you.
Yeah. You look good. That's awesome. So, after the weight loss and the hair, and then, growing everything back, did you lose weight again or what?
Me, I never lost weight. I gained it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gained it, but did you lose it?
I lost it.
Yeah.
I lost like maybe over the summer, once I went back to work and everything, I lost like 10 pounds, but I gained that back.
Okay. How you feel right now? Like, right?
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel good. I just had the final phase of my reconstruction surgery done Friday, so I feel good.
Okay, so you got a new set.
Mm-hmm. I got a new set. It'll forever be 21.
Looking good, girl. Looking good.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm sure that's fun, especially if. I'm sure that's fun. Yeah. So Trena, talking to the mic this time, and like tell us your experience, being in the facilities, and I know Mike was able to be there with you for a few occasions, but you still was the only one in there.
Yeah, for the most part, I thought I wanted him there for the chemo because I didn't know how it would affect me, but Mike has been there as much as they allowed him in the facilities. But my main treatment was from Penn State Hershey Medical Center. And when we first went in to talk about treatment, again, my best friend RaJohnna, she pumps me up, and I know that she was very direct and knew what she wanted for her treatment. So I just said I'll mimic RaJohnna. So I had one breast surgeon, an oncologist, and a radiologist. Is he a doctor that specializes in radiation? Is that a radiologist? That's not a radiologist. It is a radiologist.
I guess so.
It is a radiologist.
Don't give me mine.
Exactly. So Mike and I, the first time we met her, we went into the office, and I just said, you know what? Take them both off. I just take my breath, because I was trying to mimic RaJohnna, because she was so strong. But the thing with that is, I didn't have the BRCA gene, the cancer gene.
Okay.
So she did the best that was for her. And when I said take them both, Mike shot me a look like, what? Wait a minute. We didn't do that.
Hold up. We didn't talk about this, baby.
So I saw him through, from my peripheral. And I said, okay, you know what? We'll think about it. But ultimately elected to do a lumpectomy, which just took the cancer out. So I still have my breast, but they just took the cancer out, and what she did was put like an object in there so it won't sink in too much, leave a big gap from where they took the cancer out. So I didn't have any cosmetic surgery, and I'm probably not, because even though my breasts are asymmetrical now, one is smaller than the other, I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
I really think I can live with that, because it's, for me, and just my journey, my breasts weren't, don't really need reconstruction. I could do it, and maybe down the line, if, let's say I feel bad about it, or, I just say, hey, I want reconstruction, I can still get it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I may get it. But right now, I'm okay.
I've actually, that was the first time I heard hearing that term,
Lumpectomy?
Lumpectomy.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's just the removal of
the cancer. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that's it.
And we're on our way to victory. You say you're not out of the woods yet, but
right,
it's coming.
It's coming. That support was good. I didn't even talk about I talked about my husband's support, RaJohnna and Rashonda's support, but I also got great support from my parents, my brother, and my daughter. Like my daughter, we didn't have the best relationship, but when I was diagnosed with cancer, she was really on it. Like, she researched, she told me the things to stop doing, she told me the things to start eating. For me, I did lose a lot of weight. In the beginning, I gained weight because I was eating anything that was not nailed down. I was tearing it up because I didn't want to lose a lot of weight. That was through the chemo.
Yeah.
But after, and I don't know if it's attributed to the chemo, my appetite is just not there. So from March to June, I've lost about 20 pounds. So I've been going back to the doctors, to doing scans, and what do you call it? What did I do? A bone scan, a body scan to rule out cancer, and they don't see anything. So I just got those results last week.
Oh man,
so
that's do it.
That's a good thing. that won't he do it? Well, give me an applause.
Wow. I need to get a won't he do it on there. That's what I need to do. Man, that's awesome though. I mean, outside of the weight loss, which I'm sure you'll get some of that back, but you wasn't always like. I'm thinking back 2008, 2009. You was railish. You was pretty thin.
I was fit. Yeah. I was about my military weight. Like, you can only be a max weight for your height, and my military weight was always 163. So I never really went over that. Yeah. But now I'm that weight now.
And what you about 5'8", 5'9"?
I'm 5'7".
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a tall 5'7". Like like my leg, I had the shortest torso you've ever seen.
So I'm a tall 5'7". Yeah, it's still 5'7".
Yeah, but chemo had what I noticed too. I didn't know a lot of black women that had breast cancer, and the only people that I've seen are like celebrities. And the sad part about that is that they're deceased. Like who had breast cancer? Minnie Riperton, like, other celebrities who have had breast cancer. I think the only survivor I know is Foxy Brown. What's her name? Pam Grier.
Pam Grier. Okay, yeah.
She's a breast cancer survivor, but it scared me because I didn't, know any celebrities that are like advocating for breast cancer that have survived it. So that was scary.
Yeah.
That was scary for me, but. Pig, she's always beautiful. I really didn't even see any side effects for her, but for me, I feel like it's the opposite. Like, I don't even recognize myself.
Trina, you look great, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you're a little darker.
That's what I'm saying. Like some of those things
right,
that
but,
I don't.
You know, I'm dark, so
No,
I think
it's not about the getting darker. To me, it was like the side effects of the treatment I was receiving made me darker, not the sun. So I could embrace that. But I kind of don't feel myself. So I'm working with some of those self-esteem issues. It's not all roses. It's you know, being positive is the key thing about it. But I think out of RaJohnna and I'm the more emotional one. What you think, RaJohnna?
A little bit, yeah.
RaJohnna a G. I'm telling you, look, Youngstown, Ohio, South Side. RaJohnna is a G.
I've never been to Youngstown. But let me ask you, so Trina, you was in the military, so you had a different way of financing or paying for these medical costs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, RaJohnna, I didn't hear you say you was in the military, am I right?
Correct.
So, you know, how were you impacted, you know, financially with this, if at all?
My job has shut down, so I have insurance through my job, so it shut down. I was getting unemployment, and then my job had actually suspended my premiums for my health insurance, so they paid it all for me.
Okay, well, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing.
That is a blessing.
That is a blessing. So, RaJohnna, let me ask you. So, like, you know, for the people, because you know, I'm so thankful that you ladies decided to do this with me. And I was talking to Mike earlier, and I said, you know, as a culture, there's a lot of things that we just don't share, and we should. You know, not everything doesn't have to be a secret. You know.
That's right.
So for the people, like, what would you tell, or what advice would you give to any young lady, especially those of our culture, regarding, you know, your last couple years? Like, what would you tell them? Is there anything you would do differently prior to or even afterwards? Like, what would you tell them?
There is nothing I would do differently, but I would definitely say, you know, stay up on your health. Just because you get diagnosed with something, it's not a secret. You talk to somebody, you'll find somebody that you know with the same diagnosis that you have going on, or a family member with it. Like, so, like, you don't go around spreading your information like it's wildfire, but talking to someone, you'll get a little bit more understanding of what you're going through. The next person's experience may be a little bit more informational for you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. See, I never feel like I have enough information, and you know, even in when I was in college, it would take me so long to write these papers because I feel like I just needed a ton of information, although I may have already had it. So I agree with that. You know, just trying to get as much information and to kind of change or reinforce your perspective is probably a good thing. Yeah. What you say, Trena?
My biggest advice are the self-exams. I mean, truly, self-exams are the key. It might be a little personal, but it's okay to talk about it, babe? Okay. You said yes? Is that okay? Yeah. November 2019, I found out I was pregnant. So Mike and we were having a baby, and unfortunately, it was an ectopic pregnancy. So it was outside of the fallopian tube, so the baby couldn't grow or survive. So I say that to say that God is good, because I probably would have ended up having my child in July, the same month that I got diagnosed. Okay, and the only way I found it was, doing my breast exams. And if I was pregnant, I probably would have never found it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the milk and just how your breast develop. You know, I don't know. So I just want to shout out to God, because God, you know, everything happens for a reason, and I didn't understand it. But when I got diagnosed, I was, you know, yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But again, going back to, you know, what I would tell others, do your self exams. Lean on your family. If you got a supportive family, lean on them. You know, I know we as Black people suffer with, like you said, secrets and, you know, not saying much. But you don't know, you know, by telling someone, you know, the information that you would receive, because I've never been through this, and the information RaJohnna and RaShonda gave me was very, very helpful. And I also, you know, I put it on Facebook. I'm an open book, and, you know, I have people inboxing me like, I have it and I just haven't told anyone, and this is what you can do to help you. I've received so many gifts from my extended family. It's ridiculous, of them going through cancer, you know, and I didn't even know. So, you know, I think it's very important to share your journey. You know, you are the author of you, and you can choose what to divulge and what to hold on to. But I think if you share a little bit of your experience, if you help one person, you know, that's just awesome. I think it's worth it. Yeah.
And that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
And so for all the listeners, again, you know, I'm talking to RaJohnna, Big Mike, and Trena Staten, and Black people. I don't care if you go to the mall and cop a pair of Balenciagas or whatever. I actually do not care. But if you come across something in life that can and will threaten your life, and you overcome it, and you find other ways, you know, to improve, that's the stuff I care about.
That's right.
And those are the things that we do not share, you know. So again, I appreciate you ladies for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And talking, and we can't run forever, but like while we are running, we need to run as hard as we can, and grab as many people as we can to run with us.
That's right.
So thank y'all for coming on the show. And hey, another episode of We Think Too. I surely appreciate these young ladies coming on, and we're gonna do it again sooner or later. We out.